We're always hearing about how AI is going to change the world for the better. But there's a flip side, a much darker side to this whole revolution. Because at the very same time, AI is creating a brand new class of digital threat, one that's smarter and way more dangerous than anything we've seen before. All right, let's get into it. It really all comes down to this one single question. What happens when the cyber attacks we're up against are no longer just simple lines of code? What happens when they have a mind of their own, when they can think, learn, and adapt, all without a human pulling the strings? To really wrap our heads around that, we first have to understand how these things are even created. And forget the old image of some lone hacker in a dark basement. This is more like a super efficient, fully automated factory, just churning out digital weapons 24/7. And this factory runs on a pretty simple three-step assembly line. First step, data collection. The attackers hoover up massive amounts of info, from old attacks, known vulnerabilities, even just how we behave online. Then comes the training. They feed all that data into AI models, teaching them how to write malware or how to craft the perfect scam. And finally, deployment. They just unleash these trained models out into the wild as autonomous bots and malware that can grow and scale all on their own. It is a literal factory for cybercrime. So, what's the first product rolling off this new assembly line? Well, it's malware that actually thinks. We're talking about a huge leap beyond code that just follows a script. We're now dealing with something that can learn from its surroundings. And this is a huge shift in the threat itself. See, we used to think of malware as a static blueprint. It had a fixed set of instructions, and that was that. But intelligent malware? It's more like a living, learning organism. It analyzes its environment, it adapts on the fly, and it makes its own decisions. The big takeaway here is that we're no longer fighting predictable code. We are fighting an adaptive, algorithmic behavior. And what does that behavior actually look like? Well, once it gets inside a system, it doesn't just start attacking blindly. No, it's smarter than that. It scans everything to find the absolute weakest point. To stay hidden from your antivirus, it can literally rewrite its own code to change its digital fingerprint. And maybe most importantly, if one of its attacks fails, it learns from that mistake. It gets smarter and more effective with every single attempt. To make this totally real, just imagine this scenario. AI-powered ransomware hits a clinic. But it doesn't just lock up files at random. No, it uses its AI to read and understand those files. It pinpoints the most sensitive patient data, and then it crafts a personalized extortion letter to the hospital directors, even quoting data privacy laws like GDPR to crank up the psychological pressure. That's not just ransomware, that's AI-powered psychological warfare. But it's not just about malicious code. The next level up, the real game changer, is how AI has perfected the art of the lie, automating deception on a scale we've never seen before. We've all seen those terrible phishing emails, right? The ones with the bad grammar that you can spot a mile away. Well, those days are pretty much over. Modern language models can now write scam emails that are grammatically perfect, totally context-aware, and completely indistinguishable from an email written by a real human. And this is where it gets incredibly sneaky. We're talking about automated spear phishing. An AI can scan a company's website, look at LinkedIn profiles, maybe even sift through leaked internal emails. Then it creates a perfect fake. Like in this example, a CEO gets a note from his CFO. The AI nails the writing style, it references a real, ongoing project, and it uses all the right financial jargon. It's a flawless, targeted attack, and the AI created it in seconds. And the con doesn't just stop with a single email. The next step in this evolution is what's called conversational phishing. So imagine an AI bot, maybe on a fake customer support site, engaging you in a real-time chat. It's persistent, it answers your questions convincingly, and it is constantly adapting its tactics in the moment to wear down your suspicion and manipulate you. So, all of this is building towards the main event, the real climax of this threat. This is the point where dark AI doesn't just write or talk like a human, it can actually look and sound like one too. It becomes the perfect digital imposter. And this threat has a name, the social engineering bot. It's an automated system built for one single purpose: to be a perfect digital fake. Its entire goal is to gain your trust and manipulate you, whether that's through an email, a chat, or, yeah, even a video call. And its toolkit is what makes it so incredibly dangerous. It uses natural language processing to talk and write, sure, but it also uses sentiment analysis to read your emotions. It can detect if you're getting scared or suspicious, and it will change its tactics in real time. Then you layer on top of that voice cloning and face generation to create a completely synthetic but totally believable person. So the bot doesn't just imitate a human, it's designed to think and act like a trained psychological manipulator. So what happens when you put all of those terrifying pieces together? You get the ultimate attack. A seamless, deeply unsettling impersonation that combines every single one of these AI tools. And this right here is the terrifying result. An employee gets a video call. On the screen is their IT director. The face is perfect. The voice is a perfect match. The way they talk and move, it's all there. It's a real-time deepfake. The director asks them to quickly disable a firewall for an urgent security update. The employee does it, and just like that, the entire system is breached. This isn't science fiction anymore. So with threats this advanced, how in the world do we even begin to fight back? Well, this is where the picture gets even bigger. The fight against dark AI isn't just humans versus machines anymore. It is escalating into a full-blown war fought between algorithms. This is where you see things like MALGAN. That stands for Malicious Generative Adversarial Network. In plain English, it's a system where attackers use one AI to fight another AI, with one terrifying goal: to create malware that our AI-based security systems simply cannot detect. Here's how it works. You have two AIs locked in a digital cage match. The generator AI is the attacker. It does nothing but create new versions of malware over and over. The discriminator AI is the defender. It acts like an antivirus, trying to catch the malware. Every time the discriminator succeeds, the generator learns, adapts, and makes a stealthier version. They go back and forth millions of times until the generator finally creates a piece of malware that the defender just can't see. It's evolution on hyperspeed, creating a perfect, invisible digital predator. And this brings us to one final, really chilling thought. As these technologies race forward, as we head into a world filled with perfect digital fakes and autonomous cyber attacks, we have to stop and ask, who, or even what, can we truly trust online anymore?